Thank you so much for joining us today for this yoga practice with a group from Breastfriends in Tigard, Oregon. They are an amazing, responsive, supportive group. So if you or anyone you know might benefit from their support, their website is linked in the description box below. If you sign up for their newsletter, I promise you they will reach out to you immediately. Otherwise, we're going to practice on our mats today, but if you prefer to practice from a chair, you'll be able to do a lot of these postures. If getting down to the floor is hard for you, use a chair and gently bring yourself down to the floor using that chair for support, and the same thing for getting back up again. And if this video doesn't float your boat being on the floor, we've got lots of chair videos on the YouTube channel available for you. But today, we're going to start in this nice, comfortable seat. And we're just going to go ahead and take a big cleansing breath. That's an inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. And when you exhale, exhale with an audible sigh. This will stimulate the vagal nerve, which automatically starts to calm down our nervous system. So big inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth, let it go. And then just come back to your regular breath with eyes soft or maybe closed. And just notice how that one nice big breath affected your chemistry, your nervous system. Let's do that a couple more times, maybe pausing in between to take a regular natural breath. And each time you drop that exhale, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, let your belly soften. And just take a moment to be in your body. Just notice how your eyes feel, your forehead, your jaw. Bring your awareness to your shoulders, your back, places where your body is supported by your chair or your mat or your floor. And just allow yourself to really be present for this practice. And we're going to start just at the top of the head here, getting a little gentle movement. So just imagine you've got a little laser beam pointing out the tip of your nose, and you want to make some circles on the wall in front of you. So we'll just make some little imaginary circles. And just move nice and slow here. You can make those circles as big as you like or as little as feels good to you. And then we'll reverse those circles, keeping those shoulders relaxed. You might notice a little tension in your hands or your jaw that you could soften. And when you've gone a fair amount in each direction, we'll pretend now like this laser beam is at the top of the head and we're making circles on the ceiling. So just a little bit different movement here. Now these circles can also be as small or as big as you like. And you can really kind of draw your ears down towards your shoulders. Maybe draw your chin down towards your chest. Just be mindful to be respectful of your next boundaries. And then when it feels right to you, we'll reverse those circles and go in the opposite direction. You might hear some little noises. Without any judgment, just be present for whatever comes up for you here. And then when you feel like you've gone an even amount in both directions, you feel balanced, we'll come back to center. And we're going to kind of do a a little bit of a turtle chicken kind of thing. So I'm just moving to the side so you can see. So we're going to shift the chin forward like a turtle coming out of its shell. And then we're going to draw the chin back like we're in a contest for who can make the most double chins. Inhale as you draw your chin forward like a turtle, and exhale as you draw it back. And you might think this looks more like a chicken, going back and forth here. And just keep your jaw relaxed and your shoulders soft as you continue to gently move here. We're not straining or forcing anything. And the next time you draw back to make those double chins, really tuck the chin and see if you can lift the back of your skull up towards the sky. And then maybe gently rock your head from side to side. And we'll come right back to center. Last thing here we're going to do for the neck at this point, take your right hand to your right side of your face, maybe your temple, your cheek, or your ear, and kind of press your head into your hand as you press your hand into your head. So a little isometric movement here, just engaging the side of the neck. Couple breaths right there. And then release your head and bring it back up to center. And we'll do the same thing on the left. So just pressing the head into your hand and pressing your hand gently to your head. And just engaging those muscles before we give them a bigger stretch. So we'll take the head back up to center. And then this time we're just going to let that right ear soften towards the right shoulder. Couple breaths right there. And if this is not enough sensation for you, you can reach your left arm out to the left. And maybe even bring your right fingers to the top of your head, not to pull down, but just to give a little support, almost as if you're elongating from the top of the head to the tips of the fingers. And just notice what's happening in your shoulder, your arm, your neck. Again, respecting your boundaries, not forcing anything. And then when you next inhale, we'll just take the chin down towards the heart, release the hands if you have them lifted, and then bring your head back up to the top of the spine. And then when you're ready, left ear comes to the left shoulder. Now, this doesn't have to be a big movement. You don't have to go any deeper. If this is enough for you, stay here and breathe. Just softening the left ear towards the left shoulder. But if you do want a little more sensation, you can reach those right fingers out any amount. You can bring the left fingers to the top of the head and gently lengthen from fingers to the crown. A couple more breaths wherever you are. And when you're ready to come out, release your hands, bring the chin down towards your heart, and then inhale to bring it back up to the top of the spine. If you've got your legs crossed, let's go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Again, we're looking for balance here. We're going to find a little movement now in the shoulders, the arms, the torso. So bring your forearms to rest on your lap and have your palms facing one another, thumbs pointing up towards the sky. As we inhale, we're just going to open up the arms any amount, keeping the elbows hugging in towards the side bodies. And then exhale to bring them back to parallel again. Inhale to open up. Exhale back to parallel. And just continue to move with your breath at your own pace, with as much subtlety or generosity as feels right for you today. And as you do this, you might notice your shoulder blades coming towards one another as you open the palms, and then drawing back to their usual position as you bring your palms back to parallel. Now you could stay here with this movement, or you might begin to get a little more expansive, maybe opening the arms out wide as you inhale, and then maybe rounding your spine and reaching your fingertips forward as you exhale. And this is a cat and cow movement. So this is inhale, cow pose with kind of a little dip in the spine, a little arch in the spine. Exhale, cat pose. So it's cat like a rounded cat back, like a scaredy cat or an angry cat, or just a cat who's getting a nice little stretch. And again, as always, movement with your breath in your timing and as big as it feels good to you. Let's just find a couple more rounds here. One more inhale, open up. As you exhale, release your hands back to rest in your lap and come back to your nice tall spine. And just take a pause here for a moment to just notice the response of your body, your energy to the movement and the breathing we've been doing so far. And then we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, or butterfly pose, as we commonly know it in our Western culture. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, if you've got yoga blocks or pillows or some blankets or towels you can roll up underneath your knees, you can definitely support yourself here. You might hold on to your toes, especially if your feet are cold, or onto your ankles or shins. We're going to just start making some circles. Doesn't matter what direction you go, because we will reverse those circles. And again, make this posture your own. So you might like to keep your spine tall and straight and your circles rather subtle. So thinking like a spoon mixing honey into a cup of tea. Or you might like to take that cat and cow motion again, rounding the spine as you circle back and drawing the heart forward as you circle forward. You can get your hands, your neck, your shoulders, all as involved as it feels good to you. I always like to think about this as like when you're making cookies or brownies or something and you're scooping all that wonderful goodness from the sides of the bowl with a rubber scraper. So just scraping all the sides of the bowl. And then when it feels right to you, let's reverse those circles. Check in with the skin around your eyes, the muscles of your face, your jaw. See where you can soften. Just a couple more in this direction. Beautiful. When you feel even in both directions, inhale all the way back to a tall spine. We're going to pick up those knees and bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Take them out wider than hip width, maybe as wide as your yoga mat, maybe even wider. And we're just going to bring the hands back here behind the hips, and you can lean back as much as it feels good to you. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Now, this can be a very subtle movement. Your knees might stay up pretty high here. We're just looking for some mobility now in the hips. If you want a little bit more, You might bring the knees all the way down, let the hip lift. So knees to the right, that left hip lifts, knees to the left, that right hip lifts. And if you want even more, you could get your arms involved too. So as your knees come to the right and that left hip lifts, you could reach that left arm out and beyond. And then come back through center and bring the knees and the right arm to the left. Just as much as it feels good to you. And if you find a spot that just feels really great and you want to hang out there and breathe, it's your practice. You can definitely do that. Let's just go a couple more times to each side here. You might find yourself traveling across your floor. That's okay. Last time those knees go to the left is the last time. We'll come back to center, realign yourself, stretch your legs out long, give them a nice little shake. And then together, let's inhale, bring the arms out as high as it feels good to you today. As you exhale, bow forward over your legs. Inhale once more, tuck the chin, let your spine lengthen. And as you exhale, just release your hands down to your mat, your shins, maybe your toes, maybe up to your thighs, just as far as it feels good. Now, if this feels nice here, continue to draw your heart forward and see if you can find a nice deep belly breath. And as you inhale here into the low belly with the belly compressed against the thighs, you might notice your hips and your low back expanding and softening. Just a couple more breaths here. If it feels better to you, you can let your head be heavy and let your spine round once again. So just listening to what your low back, your hips are into today, what's supportive for you. And then with your next inhale, let's walk the hands back up the thighs, come back to a tall spine. Let's pick up that right knee, bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg and lower the left knee or the right knee down. So now we're in head to knee pose, Janu Shirsasana. That right foot can be to the calf, the thigh. Just make sure you're not putting any undue pressure here on your knee. We're going to inhale to reach up once again. And exhale, draw your heart towards that left knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to relax and soften your hands down to wherever they want to land. And again, you can keep your spine long, your heart drawing forward, or you can let your spine round and let your head be heavy. Either way, find those low, deep belly breaths. So you can kind of give yourself a low back massage from the inside out. Inhaling to expand. And exhale to soften, release, let go. Couple more breaths here. When you're ready to come up with an inhale, walk yourself back up to a tall spine. You're going to reach that right arm up and down and around. Let it land back here behind your hip once again. And then we'll reach the left arm up towards the sky. And you might like to just maybe lean over and back towards your right hip. Or if you like, you can press into your right hand and lift your hips up off the ground. Reaching your left fingertips out long, your left toes out long, and pressing your hips up towards the sky as much as it feels good to you. If this doesn't feel great for your shoulder, you can always rest that left arm down. Just a couple breaths here, maybe looking up towards the sky as much as it feels good to you. One more inhale here. And then let's exhale to let the hips settle back down to the ground. Come back to your tall spine. Stretch that right leg out long. Give them a little shake. Take a moment to pause. Notice what's happening in your body, the rebound effects as you were supporting yourself here with your right arm. You might feel a little taller on the left side than the right side. Not judging or comparing anything, just gathering information. And then we'll do the opposite side. So let's bend that left knee, bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg. Let that left knee lower down as much as you like. And again, if you've got blocks or pillows or something you want to support your knees with, you can always do that. Let's inhale those arms out and up as high as it feels good. Exhale to draw your heart towards your right toes. Use your next inhale to get a little longer. Draw that chin back. And exhale to release, slower down. Soften or lengthening the spine and breathing those nice deep belly breaths. When you're ready to come out, use an inhale to walk your hands back up to your tall spine. We'll lift that left arm up and around and down. Let the palm land near your left hip. Reach your right hand forward and up. And again, you can take your side bend here with your hips on the ground, or you can press the hips up towards the sky. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, reaching long from those fingers to those toes. Couple breaths wherever you are. One more inhale. Exhale to lower all the way down. We'll come back to staff pose, Dandasana, with the legs out long. Give them a shimmy shake if you like. Draw your spine up nice and tall. Now let's check back in with one more seated forward fold here, Paschimotto Asana, which is the Sanskrit name, which I love just saying that word, Paschimotto Asana. It just sounds great and strong. So we'll inhale to reach out and up. Exhale to bow forward. Draw your heart towards your toes. Let's just even everything out, realigning the spine and the hips and the neck. And you can keep your spine long, or you can let it round and let your head drop down. And as you breathe here, those nice deep belly breaths, you might notice you have a little bit more space than you did the first time we did this together today, or maybe less, or maybe about the same. Just gathering information. Again, it's a practice, no wrong way to do it. And then when you're ready to come out, again, we'll inhale to come to that tall spine. Exhale, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then let's go ahead and bend those knees, both knees bent up towards the sky. We're coming into boat pose, Navasana. So you might want to center yourself on your mat because the next place we're coming is right on down to our backs. Feet flat on the ground. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart and lengthen the neck so that it's a nice long extension of the spine. You can have your hands around the front of your shins or the backs of your thighs. This is a nice little strengthening pose here for the core to help support the spine. So we're going to practice what I like to call my fogging the mirror breath. So you'll inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, open up your mouth like you're going to leave a message on the mirror for yourself. And just notice what that does to your core, to your upper and lower belly. And then seeing if you can maintain that kind of engagement even as you breathe in and out through the nose. Now you could stay right here or maybe come down part way or halfway. If you want to go for a little more strengthening, you might lift your palms up to the sky, parallel to the earth. You could also lift one leg and then the other, or maybe both. Just a couple breaths, just playing. We're just playing, seeing what happens. If you get in this posture and you find yourself start to shake, just go for it. Let yourself shake. We're not holding nothing in here today. One more inhale wherever you are. Exhale to release your hands, and then slowly, one vertebra at a time, let's come all the way down to our backs. When you get there, take a nice, big, full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. Bring some cat-like energy to this wonderful, juicy stretch. And then let's bend one knee and then the other and draw them up towards the heart. Give yourself a little hug. You could rock a little bit side to side, again, taking this opportunity to give yourself a little massage. And you don't have to just be right on your back. You can roll all the way over onto your hip. Give yourself a little massage there. Just let it be organic. And then we'll come back to center. Let's send one leg and then the other up towards the sky. So kind of like two telephone poles here, just right over the hips. And here you can have your legs straight or bent, whatever feels nice to you. We're just going to circle the ankles a few times in one direction and then the other. And then point and flex the feet, maybe one at a time, maybe both together. Here we're letting all the blood and lymphatic fluid that tends to pool in our lower extremities kind of trickle down back towards the groin and the heart to be filtered and replenished. This is a fun posture to do. If you've got a wall you can rest your legs on, you can just rest there for however long you like if you've got the wall space. Just a couple more breaths here. You might even be able to really tune in to what's happening in your legs. You could imagine or visualize all of that fluid coming down through your legs, back towards your core, relaxing the face and the jaw. One more inhale right here. And then let's exhale to bring those knees back in towards the heart. Let's go ahead and bring that right foot down to the ground. Hug your left knee in, maybe rock it a little bit side to side. And then we're going to bring that left ankle to the top of the right thigh. A little figure four stretch. Nice little piriformis stretch for the outer hip, especially as we do a lot of sitting in our culture today. This could be plenty of sensation for you here. You might even like to just massage this left thigh and hip a little bit while you're here. Or if you want more sensation, you could pick your right foot up off the ground and interlace your fingers behind your right thigh or around the front of your shin and hug both legs in towards your heart. If you're doing the second option, just make sure your shoulders and your head can rest comfortably down on your yoga mat. And again, you might find those deep belly breaths. Relax the jaw, the muscles of the face. Just a couple more breaths here. One more inhale. As you exhale, let your legs unwind. We'll bring the left foot down. We'll hug that right knee in. Maybe rock it a little gently from side to side. And then anchor your right ankle to the top of that left thigh. Maybe taking this opportunity to give yourself a little self-massage, the inner thigh, the outer hip, wherever it feels nice. Or going a little deeper, picking up that left leg and bringing your hands to interlace behind it. And if you are interlacing your fingers, you might like to just play around with switching up your clasps so that the non-dominant thumb is on top. When we do things that are a little awkward and unfamiliar, we start to let our nervous system know we don't always have to do everything the same way. We can be comfortable with awkward and unfamiliar. Breathing, softening, letting yourself just be. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready to unwind, let go as you exhale, one foot and then the other. And then just hugging both knees in towards the heart once again. You might invite your nose up towards your knees, curl yourself into a little ball, give yourself a little squeeze hug, just realigning the hips and the spine and the neck once again. And then we'll bring the head and the shoulders down. We'll bring both feet down. And we'll come into our final resting posture. Now, that might be with legs bent today. You could definitely do that. Maybe take your feet out wide and let your knees knock in together, especially if you have any low back issues. But if it's okay for your low back, you could stretch one leg out long and then the other, and then turn your palms up to the sky and come into corpse pose, Shavasana. Maybe taking one more cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth with a sigh. And just let yourself get heavy and soft. Let your eyes relax, the skin of the forehead. Let your jaw release. Let your tongue soften away from the roof of your mouth. And then just allowing all the face to soften, the neck and the shoulders. Letting the softness travel down your arms to your fingertips. And down through your torso to your hips, your legs, your feet, and your toes. And just one more minute here in silence and softness. Not making anything happen or trying to figure anything out. Just letting yourself be. If your time allows and you want to stay here in Shavasana, invitation to do that for as long as you like. If you are ready to get on with your day, you might start with a little gentle movement, wiggling the toes and the fingers, rotating the wrists and the ankles 2 or 3 times in each direction. Maybe taking this opportunity to have one more full body stretch or any other movement that your body says, hey, I would like some of this, anything that we didn't get to. And then when you're ready, any way you want to get there, we're just going to make our way back up to a tall seat. So you might roll over to one side and then press yourself all the way back up. And you can come back to sitting cross-legged or in staff pose with the feet out long. Letting your spine be long, your heart be lifted, your shoulders soft. And then once more, if you like, in the tradition of yoga, let's bring the hands together at the heart. I like to do that big sweep of the arms up to the sky with an inhale. Bring the palms together and down to meet your heart as you exhale. And just gently bowing your chin towards your heart in gratitude and reverence for the amazing person, the amazing body, the amazing spirit that you are. This wonderful self-healing mechanism that we each have. And just in respect and reverence to each of you, thank you so much for being here to practice with me today. From the light that is within me to the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm going to come back up to the screen here and stop the recording. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, I love to hear it.